What's up, gems? I'm Jamelia, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. To my returning subscribers, you guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I'll waste no time. Let's get straight into the video. As you can see from the title, we'll be reacting to, I have to read it this time, True Crime TikTok's compilation. And this will be a two-part video. This is 25 minutes, 16 seconds. So we'll make this a two-part video. Let's get into it. Start the screen recording. Here we go.
Today's case took place in Tennessee on January 12th of 1995 when 18-year-old Krista Pike, her boyfriend, 17-year-old Tadarrell Shipp, their friend, 18-year-old Shadola Peterson, and 19-year-old Colleen Slimmer signed out of the University of Tennessee dormitory and wandered off together into an abandoned area in the woods near the university campus. On the walk there, Krista told Colleen that she wanted to make amends. Krista had liked Colleen for a while because she felt like Colleen was trying to steal Tadarrell from her.
Yeah.
To secure their peace treaty, Krista even gave Colleen a joint. But once they walked further into the woods, Krista and Tadarrell beat and tortured Colleen for over half an hour while Shadola kept lookout. This included carving a pentagram into the girl's chest before beating her skull with some asphalt. Once Colleen was dead, Krista kept a piece of her skull as a trophy, which would eventually get all three of them arrested. This is a photo from the trial, by the way. It's fucking gruesome. Once they were arrested, Krista did immediately confess to law enforcement that they had in fact murdered Colleen, but she said that it started as a plan to just scare her that had spiraled out of control. Krista was charged with first-degree murder, and in March of 1996, she was found. Guilty and sentenced to death. There's a really famous video of her being read her sentence. I'll insert a little bit of it here.
I shall be subjected to shock by sufficient current of electricity. Oh God, have mercy upon me.
My thing is, though, were you crying like that when you were involved in said crime? You know, was that the energy you had? Not at all. Like, stand on what you did. That's what you did. So now you gotta serve time for what you did. You chose to do that. What?
Tadarrell was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Shadola took a plea deal where, in exchange for becoming an informant, she was only sentenced to probation because she pled guilty to being an accessory after the fact. Krista currently remains on death row, though her legal team has requested the state to make a decision on whether to go ahead and execute her and give her a date of execution or to commute her sentence. If she is executed, she will be the first woman executed in Tennessee since 1819.
Listen to this. Every child deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a child. Listening to stuff like this makes me so mad. Christina and Gilbert were both arrested on 3 counts of felony charges for child neglect. Neighbors reported hearing their 3 kids, 2-year-old, 1-year-old, and 7-year-old, screaming. And when the police showed up, they saw their kids banging on the walls with a juice cup, basically saying that they were thirsty. Dirt all over their legs, dirty clothes, their diapers look like they haven't been changed, trash everywhere. There was roaches crawling in their beds, on the walls, next to their pacifiers. They asked the mom when she took them a bath, and she said earlier that day at a neighbor's house, but they look like they haven't been bathed. I'm honestly so glad that the police decided to arrest the parents and take the kids away.
How you just gonna lie like that? Why? Earlier that day at a neighbor's house. Okay.
I'm gonna attach some of the body cam footage, and if you want to see the whole thing, you could check it out on YouTube.
Is that someone passed out on the ground right there? Are they both your children?
Yes. Your ID?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Are you guys looking for someone?
Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you the mother of these children here?
Yeah, what's up?
They've been
Yeah,
screaming
what's
and crying.
up?
Yeah, they're playing. They have the windows open. That's what they do.
They're not playing, ma'am.
Right, well, he looks like he needs some juice or something. He's showing me his cup.
They're
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, they're playing. Ma'am. Ma'am. Yeah, they just playing.
I was just about to go get them.
Okay, well, we're getting complaints that they feel like there's children in distress over there.
Yeah, they're very loud and they scream a lot.
Yeah, it's called a kid.
Dude,
Yeah. They
Thanks,
scream
officer.
a lot and they're very
Target.
How old are they?
almost 2 and 3. They're very
Is anybody supervising them?
Yeah, I was just in there. Like I was just in there getting them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my other daughter in the
So
other
there's
one.
like 10,000 choking hazards in there that they're locked in that room and nobody's in there super.
That's exactly how I feel. Everything that comes out her mouth.
I was just in there. Like I was just in there getting them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my other daughter in the
So
other
there's
one.
like 10,000 choking hazards in there that they're locked in that room and nobody's in there supervising them? As they're screaming for the whole neighborhood to call us?
Is that bright in your eyes?
And this apparently has not been the first time from all your neighbors calling in?
It's time for Cookies and Crime. This is the story of John List and the unspeakable act he did to his family. John List was a religious fanatic and believed that there was too much evil in the world, and in order to save his family and get them into heaven, he had to kill them and save their souls. On November 9th, 1971, List
remember
murdered
this.
his entire family. While his children were at school, he shot his wife and his own mother dead. After his 16-year-old daughter and 13-year-old son arrived home from school, he shot them in the head. After making himself some lunch, because murderers have to eat too, he drove to the bank and closed his and his mother's bank accounts. He then went to his last remaining son's high school to watch him play soccer. When they arrived home, List shot his son repeatedly, as misfire evidence showed that his son tried to defend himself. He placed the bodies of his wife and children on sleeping bags in the mansion's ballroom and left his mother's body in her apartment in the attic. List then wrote a 5-page letter to his pastor, cleaned the various crime scenes, removed his own photo from all the family photographs in the house, tuned a radio to a religious station, and then left. The murders were not discovered until nearly a month later because List really thought out his murder plan. The family was already known for keeping to themselves, but List also wrote notes to the children's schools and part-time jobs claiming that the children would be visiting their ailing maternal grandmother in North Carolina for a few weeks. List's wife's mother was actually sick and had canceled a trip to visit them, but had she made that trip, she would have been the 6th victim. List also stopped milk, mail, and newspaper deliveries. His neighbors noticed that all of the lights in the house were on day and night, but there was no other activity happening in the house. Once the light bulbs started burning out one by one, they called the police. That's when the bodies of the family were discovered. A nationwide manhunt was launched. Police investigated hundreds of leads without any success because all of the reliable photos of John List were destroyed or taken. He would not be found for the next 18 years. During that time, he settled in Denver, Colorado, and took on the new identity of Robert Peter Clark. He took on an accounting job and even remarried in 1985. On June 1st, 1989, John List was finally arrested after his 18-year-old crime was recounted on the popular TV show America's Most Wanted. At trial, List testified that he was in crippling debt, and in order to avoid being on welfare and humiliating his family, he had to kill them and send their souls to heaven. Little did he know that his home had an original Tiffany stained glass skylight that was worth at least $100,000. That's about $600,000 in today's money and could have changed the fate of his family. Unfortunately, the house burned down in a fire 9 months after the murders, taking the Tiffany stained glass with it. List was sentenced to life in prison and died at the age of 82 in 2008 from pneumonia.
This is
That was
Sierra
cute.
Halseth, 16,
That was crazy.
and Aaron Guerrero, 18, and they were recently charged with murdering Sierra's father.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After murdering, day 3 after murdering somebody.
Wow!
That's funny.
Put that on the camera.
It was worth it.
That video was released this week, and it was submitted to the grand jury during their indictment as evidence that they admitted to killing someone. Like so many of these cases, the reasons why they killed Sierra's father, Daniel, was because Daniel had forbidden them from seeing each other, and I guess now we know why. Also submitted to the grand jury was CCTV footage of them at a home goods store buying a circular saw, bleach, gloves, and lighter fluid. It appears the couple was going to try and dismember Daniel after they stabbed him to death. But real life isn't like the movies, and so they abandoned that, stuffed him in a sleeping bag, and then lit the house on fire. And then the pair, showing masterful criminal technique, took off with no money and no plan other than the fact that they were trying to make it to LA. They left all manner of criminal breadcrumbs trying to pull money from different ATMs as they traveled out of the state, eventually getting Daniel's card shut off because they didn't have the PIN. Eventually, the two got stopped by police when they were trying to hop on a train in Salt Lake City. The police opened their trunk and found a bloody blanket and decided to detain them. According to the indictment, they were also charged with conspiracy to commit murder, first-degree arson, fraudulent use of credit or debit card, robbery with a deadly weapon, and conspiracy to commit robbery on top of first-degree murder. The first preliminary hearing was scheduled for June 9th, literally a couple days ago. Since Sierra is 16, it appears that they cannot push for the death penalty if this goes to a full trial, but if Aaron Guerrero does not essentially plead guilty, they are going to push for the death penalty for him. I honestly don't think this will get to a trial, but we'll see. I already read one article about a therapist saying that they were too young to understand what they were really doing.
Hi guys, today we're talking.
Really? Yo. Y'all, I don't even, the words, I can't find them because it's just a matter of why? If you've made it this far in the video, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to these intense true crime stories with me. This is just part one. And the stories that they mentioned so far, I'm not sure. I think it was the previous video or the previous video. I mentioned watching, how I spend my time watching crime videos, pretty much. That's what I do. Podcasts, all of that. So in the description box down below, for the stories that they mentioned, I'm gonna put the links to a few of the YouTubers I watch that are a part of the. I'm gonna put the links in the description box down below for a few of the YouTubers that I watch. I'm gonna have the same stories that they mentioned in this compilation, and yeah, in part 1 and part 2, I'll have the links below to a few awesome YouTubers you can check out if you don't already watch them. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys. My brain is everywhere. More than words can explain. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're having a beautiful day, a lovely day, an awesome day, a dope day. And I look forward to seeing you guys in part 2 right now. Bye.